this was always going to be a tricky game because you knew Brisbane might have been undermanned, but we've seen teams pull off some, pretty stunning upsets at the same time. But the way you took control of that game in the second quarter and went on with it, you would be delighted with the way your team went about their business.
Yeah, obviously enjoyed the game last night, how close it was, and but yeah, once that game was over, it's like, all right, Kansas, Brisbane, and they're trying to do the same thing to us, undermanned, and I thought that when I heard Bannon was out, to say, yep, that's Adams, and he's more than capable of coming out, and we saw it in final series before, and so he came out and got going a little bit early on, but yeah, as you said, the second quarter. Really locked down defensively, and got some good pace going, and yeah, I thought the ball just really moved, and the game was set up from there.
It did feel like that you took control based on, like you said, getting up and pressuring them and capitalising on their turnovers. Offensive rebounds was a big part of it, and then you started to go inside, and you got Rob going a little bit inside, and then that set up your outside shooters. It just felt like everything you wanted to get going was going nicely.
Yeah, Cook and Prather were two guys that we knew we needed to restrict tonight, and putting Shea on Cook and just making his catches really hard, and then we thought it was going to be kind of Delhi on Prather, but then shift that starting lineup with Bannon out, and so Whitey got the challenge there, and other people as well, but trying to contain those two was really good, but. Yeah, great to see. IC just found a really good rhythm again tonight, and boys were hunting shots for him to help him get great looks, and the goal of this team is just to have everybody playing well, and we're getting close at the moment.
Just on Ian, last Saturday night in Wollongong, you talked about how he had been struggling over the last 6 games, but you had full faith that he would be able to pull himself out of it, and then. As we talked about on Wednesday night in Perth, all those shots he made were really tough, and you could see it building, and then you could see all his confidence coming back tonight. It's a nice weapon to have back in your favour now.
Yeah, we can't win a championship or even consider, doing well in a playoff series unless, we get everybody playing well. And so, yeah, everybody through the season has, it's never just a smooth progression for everybody. Everybody just has these little dips, and you get through it, makes you stronger. And he's through that little patch right now, and other people have had those patches throughout the year. And it's my job as a head coach. We've got a great coaching staff that's doing an amazing job in player development and scouting and doing all those things. And one of my jobs is to keep seeing. What I can do to help everybody just get to their best level, and I didn't need to do too much with him. We showed him some film, and there was a couple of things in there. It's like, yep, I can make a little adjustment there, and he was off and going.
What about from your point of view, Ian? I mean, you've been such a high-level player for a long time, so I'm sure your confidence never wavered. But at the same time, it must still be nice to now have rediscovered some shooting form.
Yeah, for sure. I hold myself to a high standard because I try to work really hard, but also it's just for the guys in the locker room. You never want to let those guys down. So being able to hear everybody in my ear today, just pouring confidence in me, telling me to stay aggressive, and they've been doing it all year. And so to come out and have a game today, but it's not really about me. It's more about how we've been playing. This second quarter, I feel like we played great defense and getting back to the identity of who we are, and then it just opens everything up, and it's free flowing. We got some selfless guys, and we continue to make plays for each other, and it's fun playing basketball that way.
I spoke to Dean about it on Wednesday night. I think you made 6 shots against Perth, and all of them were really tough, and it just looked like you were backing yourself, and you could build on that confidence. How much confidence did you take out of Wednesday night to bring into tonight that you were starting to feel a bit better?
It's always better when you win. So we go down to go into Perth and pull off a huge win that we needed on the road. But you just want to build off every game, and that's individual and collectively. So, I try to stay as level as possible. Sometimes I'm in my own head too much, but at the same time, like I said, like everybody in the locker room, coaching staff, teammates, everybody in the organization, just we all pull for each other, and so I think that's what makes us really special.
And you've also been a winner wherever you've played as well. Now that it's business time of the season, how excited are you to finish the regular season strongly and then make a run for this championship?
I mean, it's always a privilege to be in these situations. You know, everybody doesn't get a chance to be in the playoffs and compete for a championship, so you never want to take it for granted. And so, you know, we got a lot of guys that have won before in this locker room, and so we build off each other's experiences, and try to lean on each other these last few games.
Dean, how important was it to finish this game well and to make sure that you won by as much as you could, because you know it could come down to percentage? Right now you've got a one-game gap on Sydney, but your points differential is very, very similar. So it's pretty important to make sure that you won this game, especially by as much as you could.
Yeah, there was never ever spoken about before the game, during the game, about margin. You know, our goal was to try and keep them as, you know, to 80 points. We didn't quite get that done, but we knew if we held them to 80 points that we thought we could be a good chance of putting up 100. So, yeah. I still, there's a balance between, you know, overplaying guys and making sure, you know, other guys are doing the work. We had the confidence to put them in the game and play, and they earned those minutes, and, you know, they were still able to we go pretty close to winning that fourth quarter as well with whoever we put in the game. And, you know, you just never know in the playoffs if you're going to need people, and you need to get good minutes and need everybody confident. So, yeah, happy with the way it played out.
There was a couple of hiccups to start this road trip, but to finish at 5-2 and to have put yourself in a position now where you just need to keep winning in these last 2 weeks and you'll finish top 2, that's just about as good as you could have hoped.
Yeah, you know, it is. You know, obviously we won a couple of close games, a couple of buzzer beaters, you know, through that patch, and you know, I'll obviously look at the one going to Adelaide where we weren't good enough, and going to Wollongong where we weren't good enough, and so, but yeah, you'll reflect on the, you know, the execution of you know, plays down the stretch of, you know, putting a pretty good 40-minute performance together over in Perth, and you know, there's a lot of good wins in there, but. Yeah, for us to control our destiny right now, to say, yeah, if we're good enough to win these last 2 games, we know we've got a top 2 spot. But both those games are going to be extremely tough. Having Tassie and you know, Southeast, you know, 2 teams that, you know, have beaten us a couple of times this year, and we've beaten once, and we want to go into both those games with you know, just a defensive intent that we showed in that second quarter tonight.
Starts on Saturday against Tassie. I'm sure the building's going to be sold out. How excited are you to get back in front of the home fans?
Yeah, good to sleep in our bed and not know we're taking a plane for a while. But yeah, obviously we have you know, there's a bunch of fans out there tonight, but to you know, to go through that period now, get back and, you know, reward our fans with a couple of really good games and you know, high level opponents, and they'll both be great contests, and we expect our fan base to turn up and see, you know, packed house.
Ian, I just found out that it's almost sold out already for Saturday night, so you must be pretty excited to get back there for that game.
I was excited to get back home and play in front of our fans that give us the energy that we need. And so, you know, these last 2 are going to be, like we said, it's going to be pretty big. I just want to make sure we come out and have fun as well.
Just lastly, CG only took 1 shot tonight that wasn't a 3-pointer, and that was his dunk. How many times are you going to hear from that? How many times will we be telling you about that this week?
I'm going to be talking to him a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to bring it up every day.
I think there was excitement and disappointment with Delhi. Delhi passed it to him, and he got a dunk, and Delhi's like, I'm getting a dunk this year, and so hopefully that inspires him a little bit more to find an opportunity to get that one. He did get out on the break tonight. I think he might have had a go at it, but yeah, good to see CG smash one down.
No, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chance.